Namaste, sir.
Hello.
Namaste, sir.
Okay, namaste. Okay, just wait for a few seconds till everyone join.
Okay, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Okay, let's start. How is the audio quality? Is it good?
Yeah, it's good only, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to start. Previous day, we have studied how to find the area of polygon by using coordinates of the vertices. Uh, this thing we have already studied. So from now onwards, so just take a quick recap of the previous class. Quick recap was this. What is the area of a triangle ABC? So I'm just taking a quick recap, 4 to 5 minute recap of previous class. So if point A coordinate is given as x1, y1, and the coordinate of y is given as x2, y2, and the coordinate of C is given as x3, y3, then the area of triangle is given as half of determinant of x1 y1 1, x2 y2 1, and x3 y3 1. Or you can also find the area by writing the coordinates of point A, B, and C in this way, and you have to repeat the first one as well. So this will be x1 and y1. Okay, then find the sum of product of all the downward arrows. So you have to find the value of D, and then you have to find the sum of product of all upward arrows. You have to find the value of U. Then the area of triangle is half mod of D minus U. Okay, so this is the formula to find the area of any triangle. This method can be extended for any polygon of side greater than 3. Okay, so this thing we have already studied, and one more thing we have studied, that is condition of collinearity of 3 lines. Sorry, condition of collinearity of 3 points. Condition of collinearity of 3 points. Okay, so if a line is given and point A, point B, and point C, all these 3 points with given coordinates x1 y1, x2 y2, and x3 y3. So all these 3 lines with given coordinates are all these 3 points with given coordinates are lying on the same line. Then we can say that ABC are collinear points. So if ABC will be collinear, then the triangle formed by point ABC, the area of triangle formed by points ABC will be 0. Hence, this thing will be 0. Okay, which is x1 y1 1, x2 y2 1, and x3 y3 1. So this thing will be 0. Okay, so these are the things we have already studied in the previous class, and now we are going to study some new things, which are some special points inside circle. You can say that special points of circle, special points of triangle. So let's start with special point of triangle. Okay. Special points of triangle. Okay. First of all, anybody know what is median? Please tell me if you know what is median. Anybody?
No, sir, I don't know what's a median.
Okay, you don't know. So median is a line joining vertex of a triangle with midpoint of its opposite side. Okay, so what is median? It is a line joining vertex of a triangle with midpoint of its opposite side. So what is opposite side of a vertex? Let's take this as a triangle ABC. Let us assume that this is a triangle ABC. So the side opposite to vertex A, there are 3 vertices. One is this one, another is this one, and another is this one. So there are 3 vertices in the triangle, and the side opposite to vertex A is BC, and the side opposite to vertex B is AC, and the side opposite to vertex C is AB. Okay, so what is the definition of median? The definition of median is a line joining vertex of a triangle with midpoint of its opposite side. So if you join A with midpoint of opposite side of BC, the vertex A has BC as its opposite side, and let's take M is the, or you can say M1. M1 is the midpoint. M1 is the midpoint of BC. So M1 will bisect BC. So BM1 is equals to M1C. If you join the vertex A with opposite side of BC, sorry, midpoint of opposite side of BC, then the line segment obtained, which is AM1, is a median through vertex A. On the same line, on the same way, you can also say that if you take midpoint of AC as M2 and you join this with B, then the line segment obtained is also a median through vertex B. Okay. And in the same way, if you join the midpoint of AB, let's take it at M3. And if you join it with vertex C, then the line segment obtained is median through vertex C. Then one question arises. Will it concurrent? What is the meaning of concurrent? Concurrency means if more than two lines intersect at the same point, then we can say that all the three lines are concurrent. Like if you take four lines, then all the four lines are concurrent. If more than two lines intersect at the same point, then all the lines are called as concurrent lines. Okay, got it? Great. Okay. So, okay. So note, write a point in note that all the medians, a triangle can have maximum three medians, one median through vertex A, one median through vertex B, and one median through vertex C. So all the medians of a triangle are concurrent. So median 1, median 2, and median 3. So AM1, BM2, and CM3 will be concurrent. All these three medians will intersect at the same point. And point of concurrency point of concurrency of medians are called as, R not is there. Point of concurrency of medians is called as centroid. Is called as centroid of triangle. So here the point of concurrency of median 1, 2, and 3 will be called as centroid. This point is centroid of triangle ABC. And this is denoted as a symbol G. So centroid word is generally denoted by capital letter G. Got it? So this is the definition of centroid. This is the definition of centroid. So to understand centroid, you should know what is median. After getting what is median, you can understand that all the medians of a triangle are concurrent, and that point of concurrence is called centroid. Okay, got it? One more thing is very important to observe, that AG is to GM1 is equals to 2:1. AG is to GM1 is equals to what it is, AG is to GM1 is equals to the ratio is 2:1. It means centroid divides vertex and midpoint of side in ratio 2:1. 1. You can also write this statement as well. So just write it down. One another point in note, you can say that centroid means G divides vertex, divides median. You can say median. Okay, you can say it as median. Okay, so G divides median. AM1 is what? Median. So median, G divides median. You can say centroid divides medians in the ratio 2:1. In ratio 2:1, in which 2 is uh, 2 is towards vertex and 1 is towards midpoint. Just remember this point. 2 is towards vertex and 1 is towards median. 1 is towards midpoint of side. Okay, so longest one is the vertex to centroid is the longest one, which is double length of GM1. So G divides median in ratio 2:1. Okay, this is all about centroid. And one more thing to know is in physics, later in physics, you will study a chapter center of mass. So if you make a triangular sheet by a metallic sheet, let's say you have made a triangle, you have made a triangular plate of a metallic sheet of uniform thickness. So this is a triangle which is made from a metal sheet with uniform thickness. Then the point where center of mass exists is basically the centroid in terms of physics. So later on you will study this thing. So this is the part of physics. So don't worry. Just remember one thing, that centroid is nothing but center of mass of a body in terms of physics. Physics teacher will teach you center of mass in this way. Okay, so this will you study later on. So first of all, G divides median in ratio 2:1. This thing we got. And one more thing to observe is that G is a symmetrical thing for A, B, and C. So G is that point which A point is not peculiar for G, is not special point for G. As A, B, and C all are same. All are, you can say, all are just same for G. So G is a symmetric. G is a symmetrical. G is a symmetrical point for A, B, and C as well. So the coordinate of G, whatever be the formula of G, the coordinate of G, that must be a symmetric expression in the terms of coordinates of A, B, and C. Because A, B, and C, none of A, B, C are special for G. Like you can, by an analogy, you can say that let's say G is parent. Let's say this is mother, okay, and C has 3 childs. So all the kids are equal for this mother. Mother will not. You can say that kids are not any kids are not special for mother. That so that mother will love anyone more than any other. It is not possible. So you can say that G is mother and ABC are their kids. So none of any point is special for G. None of any point is special for G. Okay. So if any point is not special for G, then the formula for G must be a symmetric expression. Then formula for G must be a symmetric expression in the terms of coordinates of A, B, and C. So first of all, I want to let you know one thing, that 2x plus 3y plus z, is it a symmetric expression in x, y, z? To get the symmetry, you have to follow one rule. Just write y in terms at a place of x, and write z at place of y, and write x at place of z. Okay, so if you replace x with y with z, and z with x, then did you get the same expression? No, we don't get the same expression. Then we can say that the above expression is not symmetric expression in x, y, z. But if I write 2x plus 2y plus 2z, so if you replace x with y with z, and z with x, then what will you get? You will get the same expression. Both are exactly same. 2x plus 2z, sorry, this is 2x, okay. So 2y plus 2z plus 2x is same as the above one. So both the expression are exactly the same. If both the expression are same, in that case, we can say that this is a mathematical expression which is symmetric in x, y, z. So it is a symmetric expression in variable x, y, z. So this equation, or you can say this expression, this is a linear expression in x, y, z. So this linear expression in x, y, z is a symmetric expression in variable x, y, z. But the other one is a non-symmetric. This is not symmetric in x, y, z. Okay. Okay. So anything, if you have to find any linear expression symmetric in x, y, z, so you can write lambda times of x plus y plus z. So lambda times of x plus y plus z is a symmetric expression in x, y, z, which is also linear. So you can say that this is a linear symmetric expression in variable x, y, z. So any linear symmetric expression in x, y, z is of the form lambda times of x plus y plus z. Okay. Why I'm teaching this? Because how do you come to know that G will divide? Let's say, how can anybody understand that G is centroid and AM1 is median? So how can you say that this is 2:1? So to know this is 2:1, you can take this as lambda is to 1. Okay, you can take this as lambda is to 1. Coordinate of A is given as x1 comma y1. Coordinate of B is given as x2 comma y2, and coordinate of C is given as x3 comma y3. Since M1 is the midpoint of BC, so you can find the midpoint by which formula? Sum of x coordinate divided by 2. So x2 plus x3 divided by 2 comma y2 plus y3 divided by 2. Okay. So M1 is, the coordinate of M1 is x2 plus x3 by 2 comma y2 plus y3 by 2. Now we have taken AG as lambda and GM1 as 1. So now we have coordinate of M1 and coordinate of A, and the ratio in which G divides AG, G divides AM1, which is lambda is to 1. So by using section formula, we can write lambda times of this and 1 times of this. So lambda times of x2 plus x3 divided by 2. Lambda times of x coordinate of M1 plus 1 times of x coordinate of A divided by lambda plus 1 comma. This is the x coordinate of G point. Similar way, lambda times of y2 plus y3 by 2 plus 1 times of y1 upon lambda plus 1. So what is this? This is the coordinate of G. Now we already know that. A, B, and C, none of the point is special for G. None of the point is special for G. Hence, the formula of G, or you can say the coordinate, the formula for the coordinate of centroid will be a symmetric expression in x1, x2, and x3. So since G is symmetric to all these points, or you can say none of the vertex of triangle is special for G. So the formula for G must be a symmetric linear expression in x1, x2, x3, and y1, y2, y3. Okay. Then what will be the value of lambda such that we will get a symmetric expression in x1, x2, x3? So if you put lambda equals to 3, let's say you put lambda equals to 3, then what you will get? 3 times of x2 okay. So am I audible to you all? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's continue.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, let's continue. If you take lambda as 3, then x2 plus x3 by 2 plus 1 times of x1. Okay, we have taken lambda as 3 upon 3 plus 1. This is the x coordinate of G. Then what we will get? We will get 3 by 2 times of x2 plus 3 by 2 times of x3 plus 1 times of x1. In this expression upon 4. So in this expression, x2 has other coefficient and x1 has other coefficient. So you can say x1 is a special point for G because x2 and x1. So you can say A point and this is B point. The exponent of B point and this is exponent of A point. So exponent of A point is special for G in this case because in this case the coefficient of x1 and x2 are not same, but it should be same. Why? Because G is the mother of kids A, B, C, you can say. So none of A, B, C are special point for G. Okay. So what should be the value of lambda such that we will get a symmetric expression in x1, x2, x3? So 3 will not be the value of lambda because if we put lambda equals to 3, then we will not going to get a symmetric expression in x1, x2, and x3. So if you take lambda equals to 2, then check what we will get. Then 2 get cancelled. Then what we will get? Then we will get the coordinates of, okay. Then we will get the coordinates of x. Sorry, now we are going to take the value of lambda as 2. So this lambda will get cancelled with 2. This lambda will get cancelled with 2. Okay. So in numerator, we will have x1 plus x2 plus x3 upon 2 plus 1, which is equals to 3, comma. In this case, what we will get? y1 plus y2 plus y3 upon 2 plus 1, which is equals to 3. So this is a symmetric coordinates, or you can say this is a symmetric expression in x1, x2, x3, and this is a symmetric expression in y1, y2, y3. Hence, this can be the coordinate of centroid of a triangle. So by this way, we come to know that G divides median in ratio 2:1. Got it? So G divides any median in ratio 2:1, in which the longer side is towards vertex and the shorter side is towards the midpoint of opposite side. and the coordinate of centroid of any triangle is given by x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, comma y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. So you have to learn this formula. Got it? Everyone? Understood? Okay. Write it down. So now, till now we have studied these things. What is G? Okay. So we have studied everything about the centroid. Now it's time to move towards another thing, another special point of a triangle. Okay, one more thing to say that, one more thing I have to say, what it is. So I think you are following. I think you have noted all these points. Anybody who has not noted all these things? So in this slide, I'm also going to write the coordinate of centroid G, which is x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, comma y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. So this is the coordinate of centroid of triangle ABC. Okay. One more thing is G centroid. So centroid will always lies inside the triangle. Lies inside the triangle. No matter triangle is a right angle triangle or acute angle triangle or obtuse angle triangle, whatever, no matter which kind of triangle it is, no matter which kind of triangle it is, it may be a right angle triangle, it may be acute angle triangle, it may be a obtuse angle triangle. In all the cases, centroid will always lies inside the triangle. So this is also an important point to know. So whatever you have to learn is written in this slide about centroid. So you should know what is median, first of all. Then you should know what is the point of concurrency of medians, which is centroid. And you should also know G divides median ratio 2:1. You should also know what is the coordinate of G in terms of x1 to x3 and y1 y2 y3. And you should also know is G always lies inside the triangle. So these are the points. You can say this is A point, this is B point, this is C point, D point, this is E point. So there are 5 points to remember are written in this given slide. So I think you have done with this, and I think you all have already remembered all these things. So it should not be, I think everything is already remembered by you. Okay. Okay. So now moving towards the next special point. Okay. And the next special point is orthocenter. But to know orthocenter, you should know what is altitude first. So what is altitude? Anybody know? Please share your views if you know what is altitude. Anyone who know what is altitude? Hello? What is altitude of a triangle?
The height.
Anyone? Yeah, Krishnan. Tell me, Krishnath.
The height
Prashant,
of a
sorry.
triangle.
Yes, you can say height of a triangle, but this is not the proper definition. In other words, how can you say it? It is a perpendicular drawn from vertex to its opposite side.
So perpendicular,
So it's
no, sir.
Yeah, perpendicular. So I'm written perpendicular in this way. This is my style of writing perpendicular. You will write perpendicular in notebook. So perpendicular drawn from vertex to its opposite side is called altitude. Got it? So just
while of beta.
yes, Michael, what are you saying? Okay, let's start. So
Yeah, no, sir, nothing, sir.
okay, so ABC is a triangle. ABC is a triangle. So if you drop a perpendicular from vertex A, if you drop a perpendicular from vertex A to its opposite side BC, BC is the opposite side of vertex A. So if you drop, what are you doing? You are dropping a perpendicular from vertex A to line BC. Then let's say this is you can say D point. So
So
AD.
is the point D midpoint of BC?
No. D is not necessarily the midpoint of BC. In some cases, in some special type of triangle, it might be possible that D is the midpoint of BC, but in general, D is not the midpoint of BC. If D will be the midpoint of BC, then AD will be the median. Let's take I'm going to tell you one thing, that if you join the midpoint of BC, let's say let's take it as D, and if you join the midpoint of BC with A vertex, and this line is also perpendicular, then AD is called as median and altitude both. Then AD will be median and altitude, not only median or not only altitude. AD is altitude as well as median. But in this case, I'm drawing a general diagram. So in general, you cannot say that D is midpoint. D is any point lying on the BC. Okay. So AD is altitude. AD is altitude of triangle ABC from vertex A. Got it. Okay. Now, if you draw another altitude from point B, and let's drop a perpendicular on AC through B. Okay, let's take this foot of perpendicular as E. So E is BE. You can say BE. Okay, so B is another altitude through vertex B. Okay, now if I draw another what? Another altitude, and if you join, okay, let me correct it. Okay, I think this is correct. Okay, so this is also an altitude from vertex C. So a triangle will have always 3 altitudes, and all the 3 altitudes are concurrent. You can say all the altitudes are concurrent. So in a triangle, all the altitudes are concurrent. Got it? So all the altitudes are concurrent, and that point of concurrency is called as orthocenter. So what is the orthocenter? It is point of concurrency of altitudes of a triangle. So point of concurrency of altitudes of a triangle are called as orthocenter. Okay, it is called as orthocenter. Okay. Now, the orthocenter will not always lies inside the triangle. So you can say that this is an acute angle triangle, you can say. So in acute angled triangle, orthocenter is generally denoted by H. Orthocenter is generally denoted by a symbol H. Got it? Orthocenter is generally denoted by a symbol H, capital H. So this is the orthocenter of triangle ABC. So in acute angled triangle, H lies inside the triangle. Inside the triangle. What will happen in case of what? What will happen in case of what? Right angle triangle. So let's make a diagram. So I'm just drawing a right angle triangle. Let's take this a right angle triangle. Okay. Let's take this point A, this point B, this point C. This is a right angled triangle. So tell me, if you drop a perpendicular from A, then what will be the foot of perpendicular? Just listen. If you draw a perpendicular from vertex A to opposite side BC, then what will be the foot of perpendicular? The B point as well. So AB is the altitude drawn from A. So this is our first altitude. You can say it as altitude 1. So AB is first altitude. If you draw, or you can say if you drop a perpendicular from vertex C to B, sorry, from vertex C to AB line segment, then what will be the foot of perpendicular? It will be B. So BC is another altitude. Okay, BC is another altitude. And if you drop a foot of perpendicular from, sorry, if you drop a perpendicular from vertex B to side AC, to its opposite side, then this will be, you can say this will be the altitude 3. Hence, what is the point of concurrency of all these 3 altitudes? It is point B itself. Got or not? Got it? Just listen once again. AB is altitude through vertex A. BC is altitude through vertex C. And you can say BD is altitude through vertex B. All these 3 altitudes are intersecting where? All these 3 altitudes are intersecting where? At point B itself. So the point B is altitude. Sorry, point B is the point of concurrency of altitude. Hence B is the orthocenter. Hence B is the orthocenter. So in this case, this is the orthocenter. Got it or not? Orthocenter. Orthocenter. Okay. So point B is the orthocenter of triangle ABC. So in a right angled triangle, H lies on the triangle. H lies on the triangle. It is on the triangle because vertex B is lying on the triangle and vertex B is the orthocenter. So in right angle triangle, H lies on the triangle. What will happen if the triangle will be a obtuse triangle? So just make a diagram and think over it. So I'm making an obtuse angle triangle. So I think it should be done in next slide. So I'm drawing a obtuse angle triangle. Okay. I'm just drawing a obtuse angle triangle. So this is a obtuse angle triangle ABC, you can say. This is an obtuse angle triangle ABC. Okay, this is an obtuse angle triangle A, B, and C. Okay. So if you extend all the sides, just extend all the sides. Okay. Why I'm doing this? Okay, just so if you drop a perpendicular from vertex A to its opposite vertex BC, then foot of perpendicular will be D, and D lies outside the triangle ABC. So here you can say AD is the first altitude, because the definition of altitude is what? It is perpendicular dropped from vertex to its opposite side. So if you extend BC, then only you will get D point, which is foot of perpendicular dropped from vertex A. Okay. Okay. So I think this is clear. So in the same way, if you drop a perpendicular from C, to side AB, then you will get a line here. So let's take it as E point. So EE is an altitude drawn from vertex C to line segment AB. If you extend this to some extent, okay, it is not, just wait, I'm just making it again. Okay. Okay, this is E point. So first altitude and second altitude intersect at this point. So it is clear that the third altitude will always pass through this point. Then if you draw a altitude from B to AC, then this will be the third altitude. So you can say this is altitude 1, this is altitude 2, and this is altitude 3. All these three altitudes intersect at this point. And the point of intersection of altitude is called as orthocenter of a triangle. Got it or not? Okay. So in this case, in case of obtuse angle triangle, orthocenter lies outside the triangle. Got it? Got it? Okay. You can make this diagram. I'm writing here in obtuse angle triangle. In obtuse angled triangle, H lies outside the triangle. Okay. Now we come to know everything about orthocenter. Okay. So I think you have written all these things. If you just also make this diagram. How many of you heard about incenter? What is incenter? Or you can say circumcenter. How many of you have heard about circumcenter, incenter, excenter? Please raise your hand. Those who have studied these things already, so that I can proceed in that way. Anyone who has heard about the name circumcenter, incenter, and what? And excenter. So 3 special points are remaining to study. So I think nobody has studied this. Anyone who have already studied these special points, you can raise your hand so that I could. Okay, take. Okay, got it.
Sir, can you say again, sir? I couldn't hear properly.
Okay. I'm saying that if anyone who has already studied about in center, ortho center, X center, centroid, so raise your hand. Those who has studied already.
Sir, I don't study, sir, still.
Okay. So I think nobody has studied it already. So this is new to you all. So this topic is new for everyone, I think. Isn't it? Is it new to everyone? Is this topic, whatever I'm teaching today, is new for everyone? Please participate. At least raise hand or whatever. Okay, I'm moving towards the next slide.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm moving towards the next thing, which is in center. So before in center, I think you should know circumcenter. So the third special point is circumcenter. Circumcenter. Okay. So third special point is circumcenter. Circumcenter. Okay. How can you find circumcenter? Before circumcenter, before moving towards or understanding the term circumcenter, we should know one thing. And what is that? That is perpendicular bisector. So I'm not writing like this. I'm writing in full way. So perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector. Okay. So what is perpendicular bisector? Anyone who know what is perpendicular bisector, please share your ideas here. If you know what is perpendicular bisector. A line which is okay. Actually, perpendicular bisector I have already taught you. Already, I have told many things about perpendicular bisector. I've also teach you the locus. So in dot locus, I have taken one question in which perpendicular bisector terms comes first. So so what is perpendicular bisector? Perpendicular bisector is a line passing through midpoint of a line segment and perpendicular to it is called as perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector of line segment. Perpendicular bisector of given line segment. So this is the definition of perpendicular bisector. A line passing through midpoint of line segment and perpendicular to it is called as perpendicular bisector of given line segment. Got it. A line passing through midpoint of a line segment and perpendicular to it is called as perpendicular bisector of given line segment. Got it? A line passing through midpoint of a line segment and perpendicular to it is called as perpendicular bisector of given line segment. Okay. So just draw a triangle. I'm just drawing a triangle. I'm just drawing a triangle. Okay, so this is the triangle, or this is triangle A, B, C. So this is ABC triangle. Okay, if you draw, okay, I'm going to ask one of you a question. So who will ask this question? Who will ask? Okay, so our Darshan. Okay, so Darshan, tell me one thing. Darshan, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Darshan, tell me one
Yes, sir.
thing. Yeah. Darshan, I'm asking you a question. Tell me one thing. If you draw perpendicular bisector of
Yes.
line segment BC, if you draw perpendicular bisector of line segment BC,
Okay, sir.
will it pass through A or not? Will it pass through A?
Hmm.
If you draw a perpendicular bisector of line segment BC,
Perpendicular bisector.
then
Yes,
will
sir.
it always pass through A in general?
Not always, sir.
Yes, not always. Correct answer.
Not always.
Not always. Yes. Great. This is the correct answer.
Because
Not.
that A can come right angle
Yeah.
triangle, the A cannot pass.
Yeah. You're right. So if you make a triangle, this symmetric figure, like I'm just making a triangle like this. Okay. Hence, the middle point of this is, I think, this one. If you draw AB,
Then it won't pass.
yeah, then the perpendicular bisector will not pass. So perpendicular bisector will, in some cases, maybe it passes through vertex A, but not always. In some cases, just listen once
Right.
again.
Correct. Sorry.
Yeah.
Equal.
In some cases, the perpendicular bisector of BC might pass through A, but not always, or not in general. Okay. So I am drawing a perpendicular bisector of BC, and also draw perpendicular bisector of AB. So perpendicular bisector of AB, and also draw perpendicular bisector of AC. Okay. So all these perpendicular bisector intersect at same point. So you can say all perpendicular bisectors are concurrent. They are concurrent. So all perpendicular bisectors are concurrent. First of all, okay. So all perpendicular bisectors are concurrent, and point of concurrency of perpendicular bisectors are, or R is not the correct way. Point of concurrency of perpendicular bisectors is called as circumcenter. Is called as circumcenter. And circumcenter is generally denoted by capital letter O of English alphabet. Okay. So O is the circumcenter of triangle ABC, which is point of concurrency of perpendicular bisectors of the line segments. Okay, got it. This is the definition of circumcenter. Now, there are so many things to observe in this topic. So the first note is note 1. Note 1 is, from circumcenter, every vertex, circumcenter is basically, first of all, note 1, just write note 1. After that, I will explain. So note 1 is, this is note 1. So circumcenter circumcenter is equidistant from vertices of triangle. So O is equidistant from vertex of the triangle. So OA must be equals to OB and OB and OC. So you can say if you take OA as R, okay, let's take it with capital R. If you take OA as R, OB as R, and OC as R. So in that case, OA, OB, OC, all are equal because O is a point which is equidistant, which is at equal distance, from all the vertices. So OA is equals to OB is equals to OC. So this is the first point to remember in this topic. What is it? Circumcenter is a point which is at equal distance from the vertices of triangle. Okay. So if you draw a circle taking O as a center and capital R as a radius, then you will get a circle. What you will get? I'm drawing a diagram. Then you will get a circle. I'm just drawing a circle whose center is O and radius is capital R, because OA is equals to OB is equals to OC. Then on that circle ABC, all the three vertices will lie on that circle. If you draw a circle whose radius is capital R and center is O, then circle will look like this. And in that circle, you can say on that circle, on the circumference of that circle, vertex A, vertex B, and vertex C will lie. Okay. So a circle which circumscribes a triangle is called as circumcircle. So this circle will called as circumcircle. Okay. So this is circumcircle. And the capital R, whatever is written as capital R, or you can say OA, OB, OC equals to capital R. So capital R is radius. Sorry, capital R is called as circumradius of triangle ABC. Circumradius. Got it or not? So that circle which circumscribes triangle ABC are called as circumcircle of triangle ABC, and the radius of that circle is called as circumradius, and O is called as circumcenter. The center of circumcircle is called as, the circle of circumcenter is called as, okay, what I am, the circle of, sorry, the center of the circle circumscribing this triangle is called as circumcenter. Got it or not? This is all about, you can say, circumcenter. Write it down. Okay, so I'm telling you one thing. Will circumcenter always lies inside a triangle? So those who think yes, raise your hands. Will circumcenter always lies inside a triangle like centroid? Listen once again. Will center of triangle A, B, will circumcenter will always lies inside a triangle? If your answer is yes, raise your hand. So I think nobody raised their hand. So everybody agree that the circumcenter does not always lies inside a triangle. So just check. So for acute angle triangle. So for acute angled triangle, always inside, you can say O. O is circumcenter. So O always lies inside. O lies inside, you can say. O lies inside. O lies inside the triangle. O lies inside the triangle. Okay. So for this one is for acute, then for right angle triangle. For right angled triangle, O, where O lies. So just check, draw a diagram and check by yourself. So I am just drawing a diagram. Triangle A, vertex A, vertex B, vertex C, right angled at B. So this is a right angled triangle. Okay. So if you draw a perpendicular bisector of side AC, then it will pass through the midpoint of AC and it will always perpendicular to AC. So this is our perpendicular bisector first. This is the perpendicular bisector of side AC. Okay. What will be the perpendicular bisector of AB? The perpendicular bisector of AB will be this line. Okay. And what will be the perpendicular bisector of BC? It will be this line. Okay. So all these three perpendicular bisectors are intersecting at the midpoint of hypotenuse AC. So midpoint of hypotenuse AC is the circumcenter of right angle triangle ABC. This is not the justifying way of proving it. The justified, you will be justified by this analogy. Just listen once again. Okay, till now you have understood that circumcenter is a point which is equidistant from all the vertices. So let's take it that vertex A, this is vertex B, and this is vertex C. So let's take it as if you draw a triangle, taking AC as diameter. Listen once again. If you draw a circle taking AC as diameter, okay, so we have already studied that the angle formed in semicircle is a 90 degree. Everybody has studied this property. Angle in a semicircle is 90 degree. So if you draw AC as diameter, then B must lies on that circle, because at B, let's take this point A, this as point C, and this as point B. Since at B 90 degrees formed, so if you draw a circle taking AC as diameter, then that circle will pass through B. Okay. So what is this? This is circumcircle. What is this? This is circumcircle. Okay. And since AC is diameter, hence the midpoint of AC will be the center of the circle, which is O. Got it or not? And O is the circumcenter. Hence, for right angle triangle, O lies on the triangle, and that is the midpoint of hypotenuse. Got it? Okay. Okay. So we have studied this much of things. Now we are moving towards the another thing. So what will where O lies for obtuse angle triangle? Okay. So just I am making another diagram. I'm just making an obtuse angle triangle, and then I will check. This is a obtuse angle triangle. So just make a perpendicular bisector of this side. Also make a perpendicular bisector of this side. Also make a perpendicular bisector of this side. So all the perpendicular bisector are going to bisect outside the triangle. Okay. So for obtuse angle triangle, O lies outside the triangle. Got it? Have you understood?
Sir,
Okay.
could you give a diagram?
Okay. I will show you the diagram. Let's draw A, B, C. This is perpendicular bisector of BC. This is perpendicular bisector of AC. This is perpendicular bisector of AB. And all these three are not intersecting inside the triangle. They are intersecting outside the triangle. So I'm taking break for 2 minutes. Okay. Till then, just write it down. After 1 minute, I will be back. Okay. Till then, just write it down. After 1 minute, I will be back. So this is a 1 minute break for all of you. After 1 minute, I'm not ending the meeting. Just remain in the meeting as usual. But it is 1 minute break for drinking water and all, or washroom, whatever you want. So just take 1 to 2 minute break, and after that I will resume the class. Okay. Okay. Kevin, Harris Kevin, you are not connected with audio. So everybody is there. To prove that you are in front of screen, just raise your hand, all of you. All of you raise your hand.
What, sir?
All of you raise your hand so that I can understand that everyone is watching me or everyone is watching the lecture. Because it has been observed several times that many of the students just joined the meeting and don't even watch the meeting. They just join, turn off their camera, turn off their audio, and then just move here and there and don't listen the lecture. So I think Arthas, are you there? Raise your hand if you are there, or tell me something, or turn on your camera so that I can understand you are there. Arthas, Arthas, Arthas.m.I. I think Arthas is not in the meeting. Okay, so AS Raja Rathinam, whatever. I am not. So AS Raja, are you there? I think he is not also there. RS Krishant, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I am asking, just raise your hand.
Sir,
Raise your hand
actually,
for.
I don't know what to do. When I came, everyone was just raising their hands. So I didn't
Okay.
know one.
Okay, fine. Arthas, Arthas, MI, are you there? I think he went for maybe. And R Pritika, are you there? Just wait for a few seconds till they came before the screen. So right now I'm also in Chennai.
Sir, I know, sir, you are in the school.
Backside school.
Yeah. I'm back to the school. I'm in the school. Before this class, I was taking the classes from Pune, from Maharashtra. Right now I'm in Chennai, so I can meet you in person if you want. Okay, I think I think we should start because we have to cover so many things. So just I'm starting the next story. So we have completed the third point, what is circumcenter and what it is all about. So one thing is very important to know, that circumcenter is equidistant from vertices of triangle. Okay, so the next point is incenter. Fourth one is incenter. Okay, so incenter, okay, orthocenter is denoted by H. Yeah, orthocenter, sorry, circumcenter is denoted by O and orthocenter by H. And incenter is denoted by symbol I, capital I. So incenter is denoted by capital I First of all, to get to know about in-center, you should know one thing. What is angle bisector? What is angle bisector? What is angle bisector? Angle bisector of a triangle is just I am drawing angle. Angle bisector is not
Sir,
a line segment. Yeah, a line segment which bisects the angle. That's it. Nothing else. So if you draw a triangle ABC, then we have three angles here. One is angle A, one is angle B, and the last is angle C. So we have three angles. And if you draw a line,
Sir,
yes,
sir, for Arthas, his mic is not working. That's why he was unable to.
okay, no problem. But Kevin is seriously not listening anything.
Sir,
because
even,
connected to audio.
sir, even Arthas'
He's
camera
not
is
connect-
also not working.
Okay, no problem, Arthur. But Kevin can only see our screen, but not he can.
No, sir. He is
can-
disconnected to audio. Like we didn't disconnect him.
Yeah. So anyone text him, or you can chat. Just let me chat. Tell him to connect with audio.
Sir,
Michael
like
is
in
not-
Zoom we can't do, sir. Only you can do.
Okay, I can do so. Let me. Okay. You are not provided with that permission. Okay. Okay. Where is chat? 1 second. He can only. Okay, I'm writing on a screen so that he will know what to do. I'm writing on a screen. So I'm writing, Kevin, you are not connected with audio. You are not connected with audio. Connect with audio. Because Kevin can see the shared screen, but he can't listen because he's not connected with audio. Yeah, Kevin
connected.
Harris will. Now he connected.
Yes, sir. He connected, sir.
Wow. Now Kevin can listen. Okay, great.
I could not connect to my audio, sir.
Yes, Kevin. Right now, but you are connected with audio, so you can
sir.
hear me. Yeah. So you can hear me. That's why I write here on the screen so that you get connected to audio. So now I'm moving towards the next thing, in center, which is denoted by I. In center, which is denoted by I, and if you divide just what is angle bisector? So if you make an angle like this, angle is 60 degree. And if you draw a line which bisects, so this angle is 30 degree and this angle is 30 degree, which bisects this angle, then this line is called as angle bisector. Okay. So if you draw angle bisector of angle A, and let this intersect at D point. If you draw a line which bisects this angle, and this meets AC at E, and if you draw, okay, let me correct it, and if you draw a line which bisects this angle, C angle, this so all in this case also all the three angle bisectors are concurrent. Okay, so all angle bisectors are concurrent. All angle bisectors are concurrent. First thing is this, that all angle bisectors are concurrent. Okay, and the next thing is all angle bisectors are concurrent. This one is the first thing, and the point of concurrency of that angle bisectors are called as incenter. Point of concurrency of
Sir,
yes, tell me.
sir, Narayanan is not able to connect, sir. He got switched off his phone.
Okay, okay, okay. So who is not in the meeting? Who left this meeting?
Narayanan.
Because Narayanan.
Narayanan. Because
Oh.
he in
Okay.
charge from morning classes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Maybe his mobile phone or his device get uh,
It is due to continuous classes, sir.
yeah, due to continuous class. Okay, okay, fine.
Even I am on 2%, sir.
Only 2%.
Yes,
So
sir.
what to do? So okay, just I'm completing this topic. After that, I am also ending the lecture. So don't worry. Just after incenter, I will just complete it down. Okay. So point of concurrency of angle bisector. Point of concurrency of angle bisector is called incenter. Is called in center. Okay. So point of concurrency of angle bisector is called incenter. This is denoted by capital letter E. What are the speciality in incenter? So just write it down. I'm just doing it fastly. So note one, write note one. I always lies inside triangle. I always lies inside. I always lies inside the triangle, no matter which kind of triangle it is. So I always lies inside the triangle. I means what? In center. So in center always lies inside the triangle. First note. Next thing is if you draw a circle taking I as center and radius as this line. I am okay. I'm just drawing here. Okay. So from in center, all the three sides are at equal distance. So this one, and this one. So from in center, every side is at equal distance. ABC, there are three sides ABC. So you can write I is equidistant. I is equidistant from each side of triangle. From each side of triangle. So I is a point which is equidistant from each side of triangle. Got it? Okay, so I is equidistant from each side of triangle. It means, okay, I just want to let you know one thing, that this is D, this is not D, because here, if you drop a perpendicular from point I to BC, then this will be called as small r. And if you drop a perpendicular on AE, then this will be called as small r. And these distances are equal. All are equal distance. All are equal distance. And if you drop a perpendicular from, let's DE, these are DEF and these are, let's say EFG HI. Let's say GHI. So this point is G, this point is H, this point is I. Okay. So IG equals IH equals II. So you can don't get confused with the extension of AI. Extension of AI is not G. Extension of AI is another thing, which is D, not G. I am talking about in center is at equal distance from all the sides. So distance of I from BC is smaller. Distance of I from AC is also smaller. And distance of AB from I is also smaller. So I is a point which is equidistant from each side of triangle. So if you draw a circle, then that circle will pass through the point GHI. Okay, this point is G, this point is H, this point is I. So you can draw a circle inside a triangle. So this is a circle which is inscribed inside the triangle. This is a circle which is inscribed inside the triangle ABC. So a circle what is I? You can also say, in other words, that I is center of circle. I is center of circle inscribed inside the triangle. What is I? I is the center of circle inscribed inside the triangle. Once again, listen. I is center of circle which is inscribed inside the triangle. Okay. And what is R? It is called as in radius. So small r is called as in radius. And what is smaller? It is the radius of in circle. This circle is called as in circle. In circle, and this smaller is called as in radius. So, okay. One more thing you should know, which is important. So I am writing it in another slide. What it is? So any angle bisector like A, B, C, and this is the bisector of angle A. And bisector of angle A meets BC at D. So if you take the length of AB as X and length of BD as Y and length of AC as Z and length of DC as W, then the ratio of X upon Y is equals to Z upon W. So you can say that whatever be the ratio of these two, you can also say that X by Z equals to Y by W. So AB and AC are the adjacent sides, and BD and DC are the what it is. BD and DC are what? It is the segments of line divided by angle bisector. Segments of opposite side, you can say. Segments of a side which is divided by angle bisector. Okay. So in words, we can write it as that angle bisector divides opposite side. You can say that angle bisector divides opposite side. Opposite side means what? Opposite side means BC. Yeah, BC is the opposite side. So angle bisector divides opposite side BC in the ratio of adjacent side. In the ratio of adjacent side. Adjacent side means AB and AC are adjacent side. So if AB is like 10 units and AC is like 20 units, then in that case, and let's say this is Z is double of X, then W will also be double of Y. So let's take Y as 5 unit length, then W will be 10 unit length, double. The ratio of 5 is to 10 is equals to 10 is to 20. Got it or not? Hello. This proof of this thing you will study later on, but just write it down and try to learn. Angle bisector divides up. Yeah, this is a very important point. Don't forget it. This is very important point. So just make 5-star over it. 5-star point means very important point. So this is very important point. Angle bisector divides opposite side in the ratio of adjacent sides. Okay. And previously we have studied this thing. One more thing I have to say is it is so have you written it? Just write it down. One or more, one point is still remaining. Have you written it down?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This point is also this point. Did you also write it down? This slide as well. Should I move to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm moving toward the next slide. 2 points are still remaining to know. So first point and second point. Then the class will be over. The first point is O, G, H are always collinear. What it means? It means O is circumcenter, G is centroid, and H is orthocenter. So point O of any triangle ABC, point G of any triangle ABC, and point H of any triangle ABC. Okay? So these are always collinear. These 3 points are always collinear. Means they are lying on the same line. And G divides OH in the ratio of 1:2. G divides and G centroid. Centroid divides OH in ratio 1:2. Okay, got it? This is very important point. I will take some example in next class on this point. So this is also a very important point. So you can make 5-star over it. This point is extremely important. And another point is this is 2-star point. Another point is 2-star point. Another point is O, G, H, and I. So we have studied 4 types of special points. Yeah, 4 types of. One is in center, one is circumcenter, one is orthocenter, and one is centroid. This is centroid. First is centroid. So we have studied 4 types of special points of triangle. So O, G, H, and I are, these are four different, these are four special points. O for circumcenter, G for centroid, H for orthocenter, I for incenter. Are same point, are same points in equilateral triangle. So in equilateral triangle, all these 4 points gets coincide. So if you take an equilateral triangle and say G is here, then the same point G is also H. The same point H is also I, and the same point H is also O. So this same point is everything. So every point you can say O, G, H, and I. All the 4 points coincide with this point. So all the 4 points are at the same place. Got it? This is possible only in equilateral triangle. But in isosceles triangle, one more thing to understand, that in isosceles triangle, isosceles, did you heard the name of isosceles triangle? Isosceles triangle is a triangle in which 2 sides are of equal length. So if this angle is theta, this angle is theta, then this will be equals to this side. So this is an isosceles triangle. So in isosceles triangle, you can say altitude, median. So you can say AD. AD is median as well as altitude and as well as perpendicular bisector. So in isosceles triangle, median, altitude, and in isosceles triangle, median, altitude, and angle bisector. This will be also angle bisector. So altitude, median, angle bisector, and is there anything remaining? Altitude, median, and perpendicular bisector. Altitude, median.
Orthocenter.
Yeah. Orthocenter not. I'm just telling one thing. Median, altitude, and angle bisector, and one last thing is altitude, median, angle bisector, and which one is remaining? Perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector of non-equal side. Non-equal side, which is BC in our figure, of non-equal side are same. What I'm trying to say, that AD is median as well as altitude, as well as angle bisector, as well as perpendicular bisector. So AD is not only median, it is also altitude from vertex A to BC. It is also perpendicular bisector of BC. It is also angle bisector of angle A. But this will be only true for this one, AD, not for another thing from B. Got it? Got it or not? So,
Yes, sir.
yes. Same thing happens in equilateral triangle also. In equilateral triangle, if you draw a median, then this median will bisect BC. This is by definition. This median will also perpendicular to BC. Hence, it is also an altitude. Okay. This median is also perpendicular bisector of BC. This median is also angle bisector of angle A. And for equal in isosceles triangle, this is only true that median is same as altitude, is same as angle bisector, is same as perpendicular bisector. So this thing happens. It means this, I'm trying to say that median is same as altitude, is same as angle bisector, is same as perpendicular bisector. It happens only for non-equal side, because AB and AC are equal side of isosceles triangle. So if you draw a median, or you can say altitude, which is perpendicular to BC. So if you draw a median or perpendicular, which if you draw a median or an altitude to BC, so this will be true only for BC, not for an altitude drawn from B. It will not be true from an altitude drawn from B, and it will also not true for an altitude drawn from C. Okay, so only for one line out of the three medians, this is true. So today we have studied very important topics. Today we have studied very important properties of triangle. You can say properties of special points. Okay, these are the miscellaneous points about special points. So just get a quick recap of all the things, whatever we have studied today. So today we have start with special points of triangle. The first one was centroid. Centroid is the point of congruency of median. And one of the most important point of this topic is that G divides median in the ratio 2:1. This is very important point. And the coordinate of G is this. Coordinate of G is this. Okay, great. Now, second point was orthocenter. Orthocenter is the point of concurrency of altitudes. Okay. Now we have studied circumcenter, and circumcenter are the point of concurrency of perpendicular bisector of sides, and circumcenter is equidistant from all the vertex, and incenter is equidistant from all the sides. Got it or not? Circumcenter is a point which is at equal distance from all the vertices of the triangle, and incenter is a point which is at equal distances from all the sides. That's why we can draw a circle inside the triangle, which is called as incircle, and a circle drawn, or you can say a circle circumscribing the triangle ABC, taking O as a center, is called circumcircle. These are the things we have studied. And since we are okay, and the it was very important point that angle bisector divides opposite side in the ratio of adjacent side. Okay, and these 3 points are also important, that OGH are always collinear, and G divides OH in ratio 1:2. And in isosceles triangle, median, altitude, angle bisector, and perpendicular bisector of non-equal sides are same, and OGHI are the same points in equilateral triangle.
Sir, my phone is about to die. It's on 0.21%.
Okay. Today's class is now. More than 80% of today's lecture. So please raise your hand, those who understand today's lecture more than 80%. Anyone? Okay. Or
You class finished right?